Hi everybody, I'm Bob Wilson. I'm a singer-songwriter in San Antonio, Texas. I've been writing songs since 1968. It's my 174th CD. What I'm doing on this CD, I'm retired. I'll be 70 in October. I I've done so many songs, poems, songs, stories, everything like that. So I have such a great memory, and a lot of things in history, uh, interest me. So now I'm retired a lot of time, and you know, I start. I get my little computer on my phone, and I can research stuff that I could never do when I was younger, of course. But this one's called "The Secrets of the 1876 Custer Last Stand." Now, I am part American Indian. My dad was full-blooded Cherokee Indian, so I'm half Cherokee Indian. And I researched things about the American Indian, which there's nothing good you can say about the American Indian because, of course, first I don't hate anybody. I don't hate anybody, but it saddens me that the 1830 when the United States forced 160,000 American Indians off their tribal lands they had for hundreds of years near Georgia, Virginia, all that stuff, and forced them. Either they paid them a little bit of money if they didn't want to go, federal troops. There was 160,000. 60,000 went willingly, and 100,000 they had the federal troops. Can you imagine today, the United States government forcing 160,000 American people off their native lands and stuff and force them across the country by gunpoint? So there's not much you can say about the Indians, but because the Indians got ripped off all the way around. I wish there was a day, maybe a national holiday about the Indians or something. But there's, in 1492, real fast, there was 60 million American Indians in the United States when the first settlers started coming across to the United States. Now there's 5 million, so 55 million got wiped out. There's not much good you can say about the American Indians. Let's talk, okay, about Custer's Last Stand. Okay, there's lots of treaties between the Indians and the American government, and to be fair, sometimes the Indians broke the one, sometimes the United States broke them. But what happened on Custer's Last Stand was the government pushed the Indians to where the little Bighorn is, and it was what I understand was the Northern Cheyenne and the Sioux, and there's Sitting Bull, one of the leaders, and there was two major ones there. Okay, so what happened was what I understand, the Indians were following the treaty, and the government broke it because they discovered gold up there in Montana and Wyoming, around there. They discovered gold, and all these prospectors wanted gold, and they said, "Well, wait a minute. We signed a treaty with the Indians. We've been pushing the Indians around, stealing their land, all this stuff, but we got a treaty, but let's break it. So the best thing to do, let's send troops over there to push these Indians out, because we've done that anyway since 1830. We moved 160,000. We can get rid of these Indians." So they got General Custer, who was really sketchy past. He had 700 men. He was supposed to wait for reinforcements to force these Indians off the legal treaty that the American Indians that the government signed, right? But he got a little crazy, and he decided, let's not wait for anybody. I got 700 men. Let's put them in four things, and let's hit the Indians in villages all at one time. We're gonna take them. And they didn't know there was so many Indians there, so the Indians fought back. In fact, I've heard different stories. One story was the Custard was I'm gonna just tell you the stories I heard. I can't find it. One story was Custard was going to kill the women and children first because it's easier to get people out when you wipe out the family. The other story I heard was that President Grant had so many people corrupt in his administration that Custer was going to spill the beans, and the other troops held back while Custer got murdered. And after he found out, Custer's General Grant summoned the other commanders and celebrated them and gave them medals. That's the stories I've heard. But but it was really bad for the Indians. Let's look at the Indians' point of view. The Indians were forced and forced and forced. They were forced on this land. There was found the white people found gold, so they were going to be pushed off the land again, and they were going to take it land. The American army is going to take it by force. So they fought back. And some people said that the American Indians had better guns than the other ones did. I guess trading with the white people, whatever. So, but it really made it harder because Geronimo, I think, was yellow, I believe, and it made it harder because after Custer's last stand, so they said, "Wait a minute, these savage Indians, we put a treaty, got them into the Black Hills. Okay, they were following the treaties." We found gold. We were going to forcibly take them out, and they defended themselves. My God, everything. So we're going to have to wipe them out. So it was harder for the Indians after it was already a terrible situation, and actually Geronimo, wherever the I think city building, they were fighting back so much. The Indians said, "Look, you're gonna be you're brave warriors, but you're making it harder for us. We're not gonna win. The American government has more troops and more guns, and this is our native land, but we're not gonna win." So for the younger kids, the people who don't know the true story about Custer's Last Stand, the bottom line is, we broke the treaty with the Indians, the Sioux and the Cheyenne. We found gold over there. We're gonna forcefully remove them from that land and push them back somewhere else, wherever to a garbage can or wherever we feel like putting them. And they defended themselves. So after the massacre, we were justified to murder all of them. Okay, and like I say, I'm not like the news these days. I watch the news a lot. It's one-sided, fake news and one-sided. In my opinion, I tell the truth. The Indian from my side, or the American, which I'm both American and Indian, and it's yourself. But if people forcibly came to your home and try to steal your land or kill your family and stuff, would you fight back? So just look at it from the Indian point of view once in a while, okay? Bob Wilson Nation, peace out. I hope y'all enjoy my little videos. I like comments. I never get much negative stuff, but I try not to make anybody angry with my videos. But I'm thinking about doing a lot of videos. If they turn out good, I'm going to do a lot of them. What the hell? I got a little cheap tape recorder and cheap equipment, and I got $1 million brain. Have a nice day.